Hello and welcome to my studio. I'm Jessie and this is the Knit Up and Dye podcast, episode 112, Shifting and Planning. As always, I'm going to start with my thank yous and I have my cheat sheet. Special thank you goes out to all of my subscribers, both new and ongoing. I love you guys. What you see here is all about you. You drive the content with your questions and comments. Hello and welcome goes out to Babsy. Thank you for adding me to your day. Special love and thanks go out to Cynthia, Lauren, Emily, Heather, Amy, Tooney, Tara, Diane, Allison, Barbara, Adriana, Wayne, Sonia, Patricia, Lisalete, Cappy, Kath, Jorge, Benty, Christy, Neetsy, Charlotte, Roseanne, Linda, Marie, Eve, David, Donna, Betty Ann, Scott, John, Kate, Janet, Terry, Monica, Carolyn, Nancy, and Rachel. Much love goes out to my Zoom family, Robert, Juanita, Paula, Brian, Jen, Elizabeth, Katie, Shirley, Roz, and Jamie. A warm hello goes out to all of my patrons. You honor me. Thank you for making this possible. Life. We've had a couple changes here. I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks. Things have been busy and things have shifted. My dryer died. I think I told you guys that the last episode. It would run for, like you'd start it and it'd run for 5 minutes and it would die. And why did that turn off? And you start it again, it would run for 3 minutes and it would die. And you'd be like, maybe the door wasn't right. And you close the door again and start it and it would run for 1 minute and die. And I was like, wait a minute, okay, this isn't me, this is some other functional issue. And it was really hot, even though I had like the temperature all the way as low as I could go. Sure enough, it was on its way out. It's really old, really old. It came with the house. We've been here now for some 14 years. For some reason I had it in my head it was only like 12. It's like 14 years. And it was old then. They needed to go. Really, the efficiency was gone. I'm quite sure that it was costing us a lot in electricity. Anywho, so we went out last weekend. Like my whole weekend got sidetracked from one thing or another. We went out last weekend and we looked at dryers, and by chance they were having a really good sale, and it was sitting right next to a washing machine that was also on a really good sale, especially if you bought the set. And my husband gifted me new washer and dryer, for which I am so grateful and so happy. You have never seen a happier fool doing laundry. We didn't have any laundry literally for the past, it's been almost 2 weeks. Just, fear of using it, and the washer had not been operating properly. We'd already done a couple home repairs on it that were a little scary, a little functionally scary. So we were well due, and we got a fantastic deal. They were delivered yesterday, which also sidetracked a number of things, which is why I'm podcasting today. And I have done mountains of laundry. My washer is one of those newfangled things. This technology has probably been in place for 20 years. It doesn't have the center agitator. So it's this great big bowl. It uses a whole lot less water. The whole thing locks, so you can't even open it when it does its spin. Like I said, I am way behind on technology. If you were laughing at me, our original washer and dryer were like crank versions compared to this. And it sounds like a UFO taking off when it goes into its spin cycle. It is very exciting. We are both. I spent a lot of yesterday doing laundry, happily sitting in front of it going, can you hear that? Isn't that cool? Really ridiculous. The things that give us joy. I don't mind doing laundry. Laundry is one of those household chores that I actually enjoy. There's something very methodical about the folding and putting everything in its place, and it's very soothing to me, especially when everything's all nice and warm and fresh out of the dryer. Of all the household chores, I will do laundry, no problem. Dust? Nope, can't stand dusting. Vacuum, I don't mind. Dishes? Yeah, we have technology for that. We put it in the box and press a button. I'm not a fan of doing dishes. A lot of the reason for that is I actually have really soft, weak nails. And when I do dishes, it weakens them and causes them to break and split. And then I'm trying to knit with bad nails, and that's knitting takes precedent. I will knit before I do dishes. But yeah, that was a major change for us to have this new appliance in our world, and we are both really excited to have the new washer and dryer set, and we're significantly cleaner. Toward the end of the week, it was who gets to wear the clean sock, and really can you wear a prom dress to work. It's good every once in a while to stretch your closet, I think. It's certainly, I discovered some things that no longer fit, so there was some cleaning out at the same time. Other new things. So moving on out of life. We will circle back to life. We always do. Hand spinning. I have done none of it. I have that beautiful braid, that New Bay braid, that I have not touched. I'm looking for it. My studio is piles of stuff because I'm in prep for my trunk show in October, which I know it's not even September yet, but if I can prep really early, then I can relax and I can do other special things, and we have preparation coming up for other things as well. So again, we'll come back to that. I received a lovely, generous gift this past week in the mail, and Eve, wow, thank you. That unexpected, above and beyond, oh my goodness. My dear friend Eve, who I know through the podcast and who I know through our virtual knit night group, the Zoom family that I talk about, has sent me some beautiful fiber for which to spin. Isn't that gorgeous? These colors just make me happy. This is like fire. This makes me so happy. She sent me a number of braids and bits and bobs to try, and has written down what they are. And there's some really fun and beautiful colors in here. There's this adorable little, I need to do some spinning. I clearly need to do some spinning. Here's another bit of that fire color. She sent me all kinds, and I'm gonna be crinkling and jumping around here for a second while I show you guys this. Color is so inspiring to me, and I'm very tactile. I think all knitters are. So this adventure into fiber has been good for me, and the brighter the colors, look at this gorgeous. It's almost a black, but it has beautiful illustrations of like a deep plum, dark red in it. It's gorgeous. And then another whole, she sent me so many things. These are, she says, broken tops. I need to learn about spinning. Here's another orangey fire color. She knows oranges are my color. Look at this blue. I am all about orange and blue together. These make me so happy. I need to learn a lot to do this, but I'm thinking I'm gonna spin these and then ply them together, just because I love orange and blue together. Orange and blue together have a tendency with your mind's eye to be perceived as a brown. That so beautiful. She's given me all these different little fibers to play with and try, and we're not even at the bottom yet. Look at this. This whole braid, it has these gorgeous fuchsia and purple and gold and orange colors in it. I've totally discombobulated this, holding this up. I'm sorry, Eve, I'm making a hot mess of it to show it. This is so beautiful. 100 grams of 70% gray Shetland and 30% Tussa silk. This is so beautiful. This is from the Tits Out Collective, yarn from the Plain. If I want exposure, I'll get my tits out with the sheep. This was a fundraiser. Donations went to Joshua Tree, supporting the families dealing with childhood cancers in the Northwest and North Wales, an English UK fundraiser. So beautiful. I love these colors. Like I was saying, color and texture just inspire me, and these bright, beautiful colors for me to play with really just make me want to sit down and do this. I say as I push them all back into the bag that I have here, because I can't get too sidelined, but I'm really excited to do it. I just have some obligations I have to handle before I can do that. So I think I really need to sit down and organize my fiber a little bit and just say, okay, I'm going to spin this, and have like a smaller bit that I'm really excited about that I know is going to be just 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, and start to work on that and try and get that wheedled into my regular crafting time. We make time for things we want, right? Yeah, we do. What have I been knitting? Ha! I got some knitting done. Last time I talked to you guys, I had like nothing to show you, which was sad and embarrassing. I had been very busy with other things. This time, I've actually had some time to do some knitting. And I have been showing you guys my Brickyard Sweater. This is a pattern by, I'm going to say it wrong, Elizabeth Doherty. For some reason I was thinking Shannon Doherty. I watched too much TV. I had made progress on this where I was working from the back of the neck down, and I had gotten to where this cute little stitch marker is, and I had to rip back, and I had made an adjustment, and I've got all these lifelines in there. Well, not only did I go well past that little progress keeper, but then I was able to pick up and do the front as well. So I'm going to hold this up in crazy terms here. This is the back hem as so far as down as I've gotten. There's my neck hole, and there's for the front, left, and right around my neck. Yay! I'm making progress. It's actually starting to look like the top of a sweater. This pattern is gorgeous, and it is so well written. Elizabeth's pattern has everything spelled out, neat, clean, comprehensive, for all the sizes. I have not once been confused. Not once. She uses stitch markers. She tells you exactly where to put them, when to pull them out, why we're pulling them out. Everything is spelled out so beautifully. This has a lot of steps in it because you're doing short rows and you're shaping all kinds of things, and not once have I felt overwhelmed, confused, concerned, thought something was amiss. Everything has been absolutely perfect. I can't recommend it enough. I'm not even done with it, and I'm thinking I would knit this again in a heartbeat, simply because of how comprehensive it is. This pattern has this beautiful, I'm going to struggle to hold it up here, has this beautiful brick pattern up on the yoke. Then it does this really neat braid. It's almost like an I-cord here, and then it goes down into stockinette. And you see this curve that I'm showing you here? That is part of the styling, and it's really hard for me to show you because it's all on needles and it's stockinette at that point and it's curling up. But this curve goes across, lovely curve, and then goes down into the stockinette. It's very flattering. The top is slightly more fitted, and then it goes down into an A line. The pattern is called Brickyard. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. So I have just the short row shaping to do here on the left before I do my braid. Then I'm going to fill in the arch and then in the round, and we are moving along. I want this desperately, so desperately, to be done for October and to wear this winter. Even just to wear to work would be so wonderful. It gets so cold in my office. Really, I have a wool blanket at my desk that it's a wrap that I keep, and I put it on my legs, and I had it around my neck the other day. 104 degrees outside, freezing inside. This also does, I missed this detail. I want to show you this detail. So again, it's top down in the round, seamless. but there's some detailing that she does that is just exquisite in her design, where she has like a faux shoulder seam. It's so neat. It's so clean. It is just beautiful. Do you see this here? It's about how you pick up, and you can see the short rows. See how this is coming down and then it kind of V's back out here? It's all the shaping so that the shoulder slant is in place so that it fits beautifully over your body. Have I raved enough? Have I raved enough? Really, if you're looking for a double knit weight, a DK weight pattern that has some very flattering lines, that is well written, check out Brickyard by Elizabeth Doherty. It is available on Ravelry. It is a pay-to-play. It is really highly recommendable. A beautiful, beautiful design. Has a number of sizes. Let me see if I can give you an idea about how readily sized it is. She even has instruction in here. I've talked to you guys a million times before about my deep armhole measurement. She has instructions in here for add or subtract rows here, and it repeats in the next area that corresponds. If you added rows, add them again here. So well written. Sizing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sizes in here, with a bust circumference of 34¼ inches up to a 59½ inch in 10 sizes. And she does, oh, I should have read the next line. She's so good. In the pattern, garment sizes are referred to as 1 to 10. I didn't need to count. Suggested ease at bust is +2 to +4, and at upper arm, +3/4 to +1 inch. All of this is in inches. I'm sorry. If you are a centimeter person, bust is 87 centimeters to 151 centimeters, with positive ease of 5 to 10 centimeters, and upper arm positive ease of 2 to 2½ centimeters. Couldn't be happier with this. Really, really lovely. She has, the last page of the pattern even has all the special stitches and techniques. There is even a video tutorial. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. She's got 3 video tutorials. This is a really professional pattern writer. I look at this pattern and it's so beautiful. It's so easy. I'm following right along. I'm knitting this garment. I couldn't be happier with it. It's so easy for me to do, and it's deceiving. It's deceiving because I look at this and I think, I could design a sweater. I could release a sweater pattern. But when you look at it from the designer eye, from the math side of it, and you're going along and you're looking at how beautifully she's conveying all the different changes, and she has this written in stitch pattern so that you're doing this lovely, lovely pattern across the yoke, and her instructions are always in alignment with the pattern. And you think, oh my God, that is like herding cats. That is like trying to tie shoelaces on an octopus, to have all those details all in one place and comprehensive. I bow to your excellence. See, I've still got Shannon on my head. Elizabeth, beautiful, beautiful work, beautiful pattern, beautiful design, beautiful writing. Whoever your tech editor is a genius. Wonderful. Highly recommend the sweater. Again, Brickyard by Elizabeth Doherty. It is available on Ravelry. It is a pay-to-play. Check it out. In other news, I am still working on my crochet project. Oh, let me move my progress marker right now, because if I don't, I will keep going and then I will think that I didn't talk to you folks about this, and I'll be repeating myself and you'll be like, girl, we've already talked about this. So right over to, we're going to put it right there. There we go. Okay, progress marker. And I've got live needles in it, and I'm swapping out I'm swapping out 2 skeins. I'm working 2 skeins at a time on this interchangeably row for row, just to make sure that I don't get any pooling. This yarn, I didn't talk to you about the yarn. This yarn is by Shannon Shaw at Supernatural Yarns. This is Acromantula Colony. It is on her DK base. This is a 100% superwash merino. I love it, Shannon. I love it. So beautiful. I can't wait to wear that. So Progress Keeper has been moved. Yarn has been discussed. Pattern has been discussed. Onward we go to crochet. I am working on my, I'm looking at my cheat sheet here because I can never remember the name of this pattern. Through the Clouds by Rachy Newin. This one is also a pay-to-play pattern. It is available on Ravelry. I love this. I made some progress since I talked to you guys last. Here's my progress marker right there. That's how much I've done. And these are back and forth rows over the entire arms and with back out to the center point. I just have my Progress Keeper here at the center point so I can see depth progress. The pattern is written with 3 colors and I wanted more size, more color variation, so I changed it up. The pattern is gorgeous. It's well written. It's a very simple crochet pattern. I am not a crocheter. I know you guys are laughing at me because you can't crochet this much in fingering weight and not be a crocheter. I still struggle with it. And I, Wayne, thank you. So my needle placement through, because you're going under chain stitches, is a little rough, and my crochet hook is really pointy, and this is fingering weight, and the only crochet I've ever done has always been on worsted weight with a big old hook that was well-rounded metal, and it didn't work quite like this, so I wasn't so concerned about making my stitches line up proper. So every single stitch to make sure it was right, I was doing this check. It was like Night at the Roxbury. I was constantly doing and getting the, I actually can feel the muscles in my neck when I do that because I involuntarily do it. Wayne, thank you for suggesting that maybe I could handle doing 10 stitches before I check. So now I'm down to 1/10 of my Roxbury move here. It's beautiful. I couldn't be happier with it. I have finished 1 whole skein of fingering in this project. Where is the residual? This is all that I have left of the green color that I cannot find the label for. I'm almost positive that this is a Supernatural Yarns colorway that I bought, and I started to cast it on for something and decided it wasn't right for that project, and I set my label aside somewhere, and it's so beautiful. I love it. I would buy this color again. It's this beautiful green with these speckles of blue in it. Very, very happy with it. It has been gorgeous in this, and I have exhausted it. That was all I have left. I've changed up how many rows I'm doing in each color thing, and like I said, I've added another skein, so I'm actually doing it with 4 colors, and I am so, the colors are so gorgeous. I can't believe how the stripes come out on the camera. The camera really shows the color changes beautifully. My goal is to get a little bit more length on it. It's actually finally getting around to a size that stays on better. It needs a little bit more length, so it really is a very wearable item, that it really can be worn a couple of different ways. It's thick and warm and wonderful. It's really going to serve me beautifully traveling and into the winter. Ultimately, I want to use the teal, the dark solid teal, for the edge, for the final edge around, because when you're all done getting your length, you do a single crochet all the way around, and it will look very much like what the edge looks like right now, but then it will follow up the sides where all the color changes are. I'm loving this. I fell in love with it when I saw a friend's version of it and just knew I had to make one. I would learn what I needed to learn to make this happen. Beautiful. Again, Rachy Newin. This is the Through the Clouds shawl. It's available on Ravelry. It is a pay-to-play. I am moving my progress keeper right now up to where I am. And like I said, I'm out of that green now, so I'm going to be doing another color change. And I think that the color bands are going to get a little bit shorter at this point. And we're going to repeat some combinations. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. So I love this so much, so much. And the fabric is so beautiful that I keep toying with the idea of knitting myself a skirt out of this. It's brain damage. Crocheting a skirt in the same stitch pattern. This is like one of those crazy, crazy dreams. It may happen someday, but it's not on the radar right now. It's one of those dreams. It's one of those dreams. But I do have plans to make another one. It's so beautiful. It's so versatile. The colors are so gorgeous. I really want to have another color combination available to me to wear to make the most use out of that. And so there have been some acquisitions. I think I showed you guys it's probably been a couple months now, some yarn that I had in my stash that I was thinking would be really beautiful for another version of that. And I'm going to show you those yarns again. I have everything sitting right here. I have this beautiful Swimming Upstream by Trilogy yarns, this gorgeous coral. The camera is really kind of blowing it out and making it look much more fluorescent than it is. Once I hold it up with the others, the camera should kind of balance out. I also bought from Trilogy Yarns Cosmic Sunshine. I think these are just beautiful together. And this shawl really plays really well with color play. Things that are analogous on the color wheel, but have some play off into other colors. And so the speckling on this with the more solid tone of that. And then in my stash I found this from Pagewood Farms, and this is called Fabulous Fall, of course. And I love these colors together, but again, I really want the size. I want that fourth color in there to give me the extra yardage and the extra room to play, more size in this project. So I was thinking I really needed to get in another yarn to go with these. And of course, Instagram supplied me the perfect solution to that conundrum. I follow a lot of different dyers. I'm constantly adding other indie dyers to my feed. And you folks posting your sales are dangerous. I love seeing your new colorways. I love seeing your sales come up. And so I found another dyer that was new to me. And she does her dyes on dye to order basis. So it's been about a month since I ordered it. And I'm looking at these colors. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, I need something in this family. It needs to be distinctly different, but it needs to work with these. And I'm well aware that when I'm looking at the screen, the colors do not reflect reality all the time. They're a close approximation, but camera technology doesn't work like our eyes. It's trying to, but it doesn't. And when you're working with indie dyers, you will see a picture of the colorway, you'll see a picture of the yarn, and unless it is the exact skein that you're purchasing, it's going to be slightly different. It's art, it's different every time we do it. But I took a chance, and I ordered from Mitchell's Creations on Etsy a fingering weight. It is a 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon, in line with these. This is an 80-20, this is an 80-20. This one is a 80-20, 75-25 is not that different, that it's going to change up or cause any weird draping issues. But I took a chance based on monitor colors, and I won the lottery with this. Mitchell's Creations, she does dye to order crawfish boil. I could not be happier. This colorway is so beautiful. It has reds, it has corals, it has yellows, it has creams and whites. There's shades that go down into a pink. It was the perfect answer. It will combine with every one of these so beautifully. I have to hurry up and finish my first Through the Clouds so I can make my second Through the Clouds. These are earmarked. These are set aside. This is this combination. This is what this is for. And I'm so in love with this. I am so in love with this. I just want to cast it on now. But then I'll have 2 crochet projects going at once. And we're gonna finish one thing before we do another. That, and I really need my focus to be on getting those done so that I have those ready to wear for this fall. Yes. Mitchell's Creations, again, I want to tell you about her. She is Mitchell's Creations, mitchellsc.etsy.com, and I'll have that information up here for you. Tara Mitchell is the indie dyer and shop owner. She is out of Franklinton, Louisiana. This base that I got this yarn on, I'm looking at my cheat sheet here, is her lanyap sock base. And like I said, it's a 75-25 merino nylon, 100 grams, 463 yards. Love that color. Tara, your stuff is gorgeous. I will be back for more, absolutely. But there was more yarn acquisition because I'm in desperate need of yarn, absolutely desperate need of yarn. I speak to you guys all the time about Shannon Shaw over at Supernatural Yarns. She was my mentor starting my business. She is an amazing dyer. She is amazingly creative. She does clubs all the time. And her yarn clubs are really, really clever in that she has built her business in such a way that she has a huge variety of bases, including bats. She does fiber dyeing as well, in a number of different blends even. She really has a broad selection. I think there's more than 20 different bases that you can choose. When she does her clubs, she'll create a series of 6 colorways, and you can choose which colors you want on which bases you want. And she even offers payment plans so that you can break it up over months for her clubs. Thank you, Shannon. Some of us budget. Her latest club, and I did talk to you guys about it very, very briefly, probably about a month ago when I signed up, is the Princess Bride Club. I think that's what she referred to it as, is the Princess Bride Club. I'm looking at my cheat sheet. And she did all these different colorways. Well, I signed on for one of each of the colorways this time. I did it all in sock weights. I think I chose the same base all the way across the board this time. Yeah, it's one of my favorite bases with her. It is her Pixie sock. It is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards over 100 grams. Super versatile, great for socks. It does good shawls, pairs well. I often will hold them 2 together with this. But I got the first 2 skeins from my Princess Bride collection. The first one is a wild ride. It is beautiful. I suspect that she took this color, the color sampling, off of the cover of the book or the opening scene of the movie. And this is this a kissing book? If you're familiar with the movie, Fred Savage sitting there whining to his grandfather. Is this a kissing book? He's sick, he's home in bed, and Grandpa's going to read him a book. Look at these colors. This is such a wild ride. I love it. It has, of course, my requisite orange and blue in it. It has teals, it has reds, it has whites, it has greens. Very, very vibrant, very fairy tale, very picture book cover. I love it. I'm super excited to work with this. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but the colors are going to play out in such a fun way. It's so unpredictable how they're going to stack, and there's so many colors in here that it's going to be a wild ride. I'm very excited to play with that. The second skein that I got from her is inconceivable. I love this. It is so different from this color. Isn't that gorgeous? Soft pastels in a fresh spring green, just a really early yellow green, this beautiful soft carnation pink, this lovely kind of Merlot wine purple. There's a deeper, more violet kind of purple there. Real soft, just blends from one color to the next. It's so pretty. When this came in, it came in the day before my crawfish boil. I briefly looked at this and went, I wonder if that will work with the other one. It doesn't. It sort of works with a couple of them, but it was not. That crawfish boil was the perfect answer to the other one. I love it. I'm so happy with it. So that's my acquisitions. Moving on, what have I been dyeing? I have been dyeing like crazy. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw pictures of piles, literally a mountain. It was like Princess and the Pea. There was this huge pile of all my skeins of dyed yarn up on my blocking table that needed to be twisted and labeled. The employee of the month, who I'm quite sure is going to be employee of the year and likely becoming employee of the decade, helped me with all of the labeling and twisting in that, and I am so grateful to John for all of his assistance. He is a huge part of my company, and although you guys don't see him or hear from him, he is behind all of this and really makes this possible, and I am so grateful for his help. I have been dyeing huge piles for my trunk show. It's been very aggressive, trying to get it done as much as possible in advance. That being said, I still have dyeing to go for that. I'm a small indie dyer. And the majority of batches are 2 skein batches, where only 2 skeins are exactly identical. They're in the same pot or same pan or same tray at a time. So it's very small and it's very slow. And on a really aggressive day, like I get up and I slug some coffee and immediately start throwing things in a dye pot, I can get between 50 and 60 skeins done. But again, it's small production. It is small production, small craft. I still have some work to do for my trunk show. I'm excited about it because these are the luxury fibers that I'm working on next. I will have a small selection of a merino silk cashmere with me, and I will also have a small selection of a 50/50 merino silk with me. Absolutely gorgeous, soft, beautiful fibers at a really good price point. I was able to really get the cost down on those and make them very accessible. I don't have my cost with me, but I know that I would spend that in a heartbeat. I really tried to get those numbers down and reasonable for luxury so that people can get their hands on something really exquisite and beautiful, whether it's a gift for somebody come Christmas or if it's a gift for yourself. And you'll see those fibers after my trunk show will be falling into my shop. I do have my merino silk cashmere. I have some skeins of that in my shop now, so if you're looking for something special for yourself, check that out. I have been doing a little bit of design work as well. I talked to you guys about, I have 2 new hat patterns coming. I have Wing Trail and Schooner Races. Those have been test knit, and I have a initial tech done on them, and I have minis dyed for them. Those are going to release at my trunk show with the minis, and then they'll be coming into the shop, and patrons will have early access. So if you're part of my patronage program, you're going to have early access to those patterns as well. And I have one other pattern that I'm trying to get designed before my trunk show to take with me. It's a multi-gauge project, which is really fun because I'm using fibers at different weights and combining them into a single project. My husband has been watching me swatch, and I was talking to him about it being a multi-gauge process, and he was watching me tear out another swatch because it wasn't doing quite what I wanted, and he suggested I call it Gage Rage, which I'm actually toying with keeping the name of that because it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, and it's a fun piece. It's a fun piece. I'm excited about it. So there's designing going on behind the scenes. If you want a sneak peek at those designs, you want to be part of my patronage program. For as little as $1 a month, you can get access in there to the exclusive content and to discounts, early notification of sales, patterns, early releases, that sort of thing. There's all kinds of content over there that's building every week. I'm trying to get a nice, active, steady program in place where I'm giving you guys exclusive content every week. So I'm going to circle back to life now. I've shown you guys everything that's going on, and my theme today was shifting and planning. Early fall is very much upon us. Yeah, the temperatures are still high, but I can feel that shift. And certainly with we're past the equinox now, and I get up in the morning and it's dark already, and the drive in is chilly, and then the drive home is definitely have the air conditioner on. That shift has started to happen. We're definitely seeing it with our garden. We took time yesterday to harvest tomatoes and put those up for winter, and we have other harvesting and putting up that we need to do. Fall is extremely busy in my household. We keep a large garden. We actually have 4 garden beds that are 4 feet by 8 feet, and then another 2 garden beds that are either peas or cucumbers that are smaller individual, kind of 1 foot by 3 feet, kind of smaller, and they're all raised beds, and we put out a ton of, we always overplant. This year I have a heritage, I'm trying to think, a heritage organic squash in there that has grown much bigger than we expected. I really only expected to maybe get 2 or 3 candlepin bowling size ball gourds out of it, and instead I have like 8 near pumpkin sized gourds, because it's a heritage, an old seed. One of these, heritage isn't the right word, and I'm not coming up with it, but because it's an ancient seed, it's one of these lesser used seeds. There's not a lot of information about it, so I'm really having to guess about whether it's ripe or not, and I'm reading a lot about how to tell different squash. I've never grown pumpkins or squash other than summer squashes like zucchini are really easy to tell when they're ripe. It's half an hour before they're the size of your thigh. Quick pick it. But these are very different, and so I'm really having to research and learn about that. I love winter squashes. My husband does not. So I expect that I'm going to have a lot of soup in my near future. I'm going to have to harvest those and get those all peeled and diced up, and I can't wait to get that all stored in my freezer. We also make salsa. We can salsa every year, and that's coming up. We have a ton of really, really hot peppers in our garden. We did put up tomatoes, but we use our tomatoes for tomato soup rather than for our salsas. They're just too rich and delicious to keep only for the salsa. We really like to keep that for our soups. So we have a huge canning project coming up. Whenever we can salsa, we don't can a few pints. We can several gallons. So a lot of labor goes into that. A lot of time goes into that. We also put up carrots every year. We had wanted to put up green beans this year, but while John was away on his camping trip and I was doing a lot more of the garden coverage this time, I found a fuzzy little friend in our garden. It's the biggest rabbit I have ever laid eyes on. He was huge. Sitting down, holding a tomato that he was gnawing into. His head, not even his ears, his head, he was a solid 12 inches in height, sitting. He was a big rabbit. I scared him away. I haven't seen him since. I am still seeing his evidence of desecration. The rabbits got a hold of our green beans this year. We had peas. We did great with our peas. They haven't bothered the carrots. Apparently they aren't ripe enough for them yet. But the green beans, they absolutely decimated our green beans. So we won't be putting green beans up this year. But we do still have the salsa, the squashes, and the carrots to do. And that's time consuming. Both of us work full time. When we do a canning, it's generally a whole day. When we put up the tomatoes the other day, it was a good 3 hours of work. So we need to schedule that into our fall and around my trunk show. That's part of why I'm trying to get all the trunk show stuff done before we have harvest time, that we're starting to work in and around that, and I start to lose potential weekend time to that. We also heat our home with a wood stove. So we also need to bring in wood this year. A couple cords, no big deal. We have it delivered to the driveway. It's already all split and everything. We just need to transfer it to the stacks in the backyard and kind of restack the whatever's left from the previous year that the dogs have decided to stand on and hunt through. My dogs are part beaver. They like to carry around logs and chew on them. We try very hard to keep them away from that, but dog does what a dog wants to do. So canning and gardening and stacking wood, and my trunk show coming up, and I'm doing final prep for my trunk show. Like I said, I've got the luxury fibers to dye, and I'm developing swag for my brunch. I love going to the brunch and giving everybody that attends that a gift. They are my family, they are my friends, and it's so important to me to develop something unique and something fun to give them every year. And I'm also developing some swag for a special add-on that we're doing this time. Unwound is developing a new program where they're going to have special private preview parties and early access to things like trunk shows. There's a number of other things going on. It is in early development. If you are a patron of Unwound, talk to them, check out their website, their blog, and find out what's going on. This is a neat new membership program that they're doing, and I am preparing to do a preview party the first night that I'm out there, after hours, after the shop is closed, and that's going to be fun. I'm really excited about that. So obviously fall is really, really busy. But there's a wrench in the works. John injured his knee while he was out on his camping trip. And we don't have we don't know yet what our prognosis is for that. He has an MRI coming up tomorrow. It's bothering him. And it's the knee that he's had surgery on previously. So both of us are very much of the mindset that another surgery is likely, and the sooner the better. Certainly you don't want to keep walking around on an injured knee. It's better to nip these things in the bud rather than allowing them to continue and get worse or cause additional injury. So it's possible that around salsa and canning and putting up and doing wood and trunk show that we're going to be weaseling a surgery into that as well. It's going to be a busy fall, and so my plans kind of have all these things in mind, and everything is shifting. Everything is going to move around and fall in wherever it can fall in. So I'm not making a lot of promises about dates that things are going to be released or anything like that, because I don't know. I don't know what's coming. Certainly by next week we should have a better idea about that surgery, if it's even going to happen, and then we'll be looking at when are things ripe, and we'll go from there. That having been said, I do have something on the calendar that is really important to me and I'm really excited about, and that is the 3rd anniversary of my podcast. You guys are amazing. Thank you for making this possible. Thank you for giving me 3 wonderful years of doing this. I'm going to give it back to you. For the entire month of September, we're going to be celebrating the podcast anniversary. That includes giveaways, that includes an exclusive colorway that I need to get dyeing on, and sales. And the very first sale is already in progress. If you watch me on Instagram, you see all of my worsted weight yarns right now are 15% off. Many of them are in sweater quantities available to ship today. Join me for the celebration. Let's have some fun. I also just finally opened up my new website store to international shipping. So again, I can ship internationally, and I'm really excited about that. I have been very, very careful with weighing all of my products, that the weights are extremely accurate, that my shipping materials are as light as I can get them, so that shipping internationally is not as horrible as it was. The calculator that was used on my previous shop was a little bit aggressive, and I felt like the cost of international shipping was really high. It was really prohibitive. I think I've got it down lower. I'm trying really hard to get it lower. So you tell me, let me know what you're seeing on your end. If it's just prohibitive again, I may not make that so available. But ultimately, I want my yarn accessible to everyone. An important thing to note as well, as a added bonus to my patrons, if you have a patronage discount, it's stackable. That means that if I have a product that is already on sale and you have a coupon, it stacks. You get an even deeper discount. It's not a one or the other situation. If it's 15% off and you have a 30% coupon, it's 45% off for you. So take advantage, guys. These are your benefits, and enjoy it. I think that's everything I have for you guys today. I have boxes of stuff, and I have a whole lot of dyeing I need to do. And fortunately, we're all done harvesting the garden. Oh, and I have laundry I get to go do. Yay! I know. I'm not quite right in the head, but y'all still enjoy me. I love you guys. Have a great week. I really hope to podcast next week. Jorge, thank you for reminding me that I'm not doing this as often as I had intended. And I'm going to try and make a much stronger effort not to go, oh, it's late in the day, I can just skip it this week. I can still film it, and I will edit it, and maybe it doesn't get to you guys until Wednesday, but I'm going to make a stronger effort to try and film 3 weeks out of the month. I get 1 weekend off. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.